On Thursday, January 8th, NASA postponed a planned spacewalk on the ISS. They found a medical concern with one crew member. The space agency said the situation was stable. But behind closed doors, they started discussing something rare. They talked about ending the mission early. That alone shows the issue might be more serious than it looks. On the ISS, a medical problem is never just about medicine. It becomes a transportation crisis. When something goes wrong 400 kilometers above Earth, the biggest question isn't what happened. It's how quickly and safely the crew can return home. Today, that answer points more and more to one spacecraft. SpaceX's Crew Dragon. The ISS always has emergency return capability. The spacecraft that bring crews to the station stay docked. They serve as escape vehicles if conditions require an immediate return to Earth. Right now, the ISS has two such vehicles: a Russian Soyuz capsule and a SpaceX Crew Dragon. Soyuz has an unmatched track record. It has been in service since the late 1960s. The capsule has flown more than 1,900 missions. It remains the most frequently used human spacecraft ever built. Its long history reflects a design that focuses on durability and strict procedures. Crew Dragon represents a newer generation of spacecraft. Its flight history is shorter, but it was built under modern safety standards. It has digital flight controls, continuous health monitoring, and high system redundancy. Reliability on the ISS is no longer measured just by heritage. It is increasingly defined by availability, autonomy, and the ability to stay ready while docked. Soyuz spacecraft are certified to remain docked to the ISS for roughly 6 months. After that period, they must be replaced whether they have been used or not. Crew Dragon was designed for longer standby periods from the start. It stays powered, climate-controlled, and continuously monitored for more than 7 months while docked. That difference matters operationally. A rescue vehicle that stays on station longer reduces replacement pressure. It minimizes gaps in evacuation coverage. It also changes how crews are assigned. Soyuz carries 3 astronauts. A full station evacuation requires multiple vehicles. Each has fixed seating arrangements determined months in advance. Crew Dragon carries 4 astronauts on standard NASA missions, but it can be expanded to 7. In practice, a single Dragon can evacuate half or more of the station's crew. In an emergency, fewer vehicles mean fewer coordination steps. It means fewer points of failure. The difference goes beyond seating. Soyuz relies heavily on manual procedures guided by ground control. Its design philosophy prioritizes mechanical simplicity and crew intervention. Dragon follows a different approach. It is fully autonomous from undocking through re-entry. Its flight computers are triple redundant. The spacecraft continuously checks its own systems while docked. This matters when time is limited. Dragon can undock within minutes with minimal ground coordination. In scenarios involving pressure loss, fire, or medical escalation, response speed directly affects outcomes. Re-entry safety is another distinction. Soyuz has a long record of successful returns. However, certain off-nominal conditions require the spacecraft to enter a ballistic re-entry mode. In a nominal descent, Soyuz follows a guided trajectory and lands under parachutes. This exposes the crew to approximately 4 to 5 times Earth's gravity. This profile is demanding but within expected physiological limits. In a ballistic re-entry, guidance control is lost or intentionally disabled. The capsule descends on a steeper trajectory. This results in significantly higher deceleration forces, typically in the range of 8 to 10 times Earth's gravity. These conditions are survivable but physically taxing. Crew members experience sustained high loads for an extended period. They rely on specialized seats and pressure suits for protection. Crew Dragon follows a different approach. Its re-entry is fully controlled. It maintains a shallower descent profile with lower peak forces throughout the sequence. This reduces physical stress on the crew during return. For an injured or medically compromised astronaut, this difference is operationally significant, not theoretical. There is also a broader consideration. For most of the ISS program, evacuation capability depended on a single international partner. That arrangement worked, but it carried inherent constraints. Dragon introduces operational independence. It adds redundancy not just in hardware, but in access scheduling and decision-making. Taken together, these differences point to a quiet shift. Soyuz remains a proven escape capsule. It has saved lives and supported the ISS for decades. Crew Dragon, however, represents a different model. It is not simply a vehicle waiting for an emergency. It is a continuously ready system integrated into daily station risk management. In today's ISS environment, that distinction defines reliability. In recent years, Crew Dragon has supported critical return missions for ISS astronauts. This happened when alternative vehicles were unavailable or delayed. The most prominent example occurred in 2025. NASA astronauts Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore returned to Earth aboard the Crew 9 Dragon. They had an extended stay on the station following ongoing issues affecting Boeing's Starliner program. The return itself was normal. What drew attention afterward was how the crew described the experience. In a live interview following their landing, Williams contrasted Dragon with earlier spacecraft she had flown. She noted that Dragon continuously communicates its status to the crew. It explains what the vehicle is doing in real time. This, she said, reduced the need to interpret complex displays or infer system behavior. That task had been routine in previous programs, including the Space Shuttle. Wilmore echoed that assessment. Both astronauts emphasized that the spacecraft's interface lowered cognitive workload during critical phases of flight. The vehicle did not require constant interpretation. It presented information clearly and directly. This allowed the crew to focus on situational awareness rather than system diagnosis. They also commented on smaller practical details. When asked about crew amenities, Williams pointed to something simple but telling: the extensive use of Velcro inside Dragon. In microgravity, such details matter. Equipment placement, restraint points, and ease of access all affect how efficiently a crew can operate. This is particularly important during time-sensitive events. None of these features alone defines safety. Taken together, they reflect a design philosophy that prioritizes clarity, automation, and reduced crew workload in routine operations. This improves efficiency in abnormal situations. It can reduce errors. Of course, Crew Dragon is not the only vehicle being considered for future crew return roles. As NASA and its partners prepare for the transition from the ISS to commercially operated space stations, another spacecraft has been positioned as a potential emergency return option: Sierra Space's Dream Chaser. Dream Chaser was originally conceived with crew rescue in mind. Unlike capsule-based vehicles, it is a lifting body spaceplane. It is designed to re-enter the atmosphere and land on a runway. In an emergency context, that approach offers a complementary capability. Where Dragon relies on parachute-assisted splashdown, Dream Chaser uses a controlled gliding re-entry with horizontal landing. For stations that require multiple independent evacuation options, this diversity matters. At present, NASA's priority for Dream Chaser is cargo. The uncrewed version is designed to deliver more than 7,800 pounds of supplies to orbit. It can return time-sensitive cargo to Earth. Crewed variants are planned following demonstration flights currently expected later this decade. From a lifeboat perspective, several features stand out. Dream Chaser is designed for reuse up to 15 missions per vehicle. It launches atop United Launch Alliance's Vulcan Centaur rocket. It operates with a high degree of autonomy. Its detachable Shooting Star module handles cargo disposal during re-entry. This allows the spaceplane itself to focus on crew safety and recovery. Docking, undocking, and deorbit operations are automated. This reduces reliance on real-time crew input. Crew Dragon's design choices have not gone unnoticed beyond the ISS partnership. They have also drawn attention from China. In recent years, China has been developing a new crewed spacecraft known as Mengzhou. This vehicle, at first glance, shares several visual and conceptual similarities with SpaceX's Crew Dragon. Mengzhou is developed through a comprehensive upgrade from the Shenzhou crewed spaceship. It adopts a modular design comprising a return capsule and a service capsule. Like Dragon, Mengzhou reflects a modern capsule architecture. It is shaped by digital avionics, automated flight control, and an emphasis on crew autonomy. The resemblance, however, is largely superficial. Crew Dragon and Mengzhou were developed for different operational environments and mission priorities. Crew Dragon measures approximately 8.1 meters in length. It has a launch mass of about 9,600 kilograms. It is capable of carrying up to 7 astronauts or fewer crew members with flexible cargo configurations. Since entering operational service in 2020, Dragon has completed more than a dozen crewed missions. It routinely supports ISS crew rotation, contingency return, and rescue capability. Dragon launches aboard the reusable Falcon 9 rocket. It returns via ocean splashdown under parachutes. This is a recovery method optimized for rapid crew access and reuse of flight hardware. Mengzhou is larger and heavier. The spacecraft measures roughly 8.8 meters in length. It has a launch mass of approximately 21,600 kilograms. It is designed to carry 6 astronauts or alternative configurations, such as 3 crew members with additional cargo. Unlike Dragon, Mengzhou is intended from the outset to support not only China's Tiangong space station, but also future lunar missions. Mengzhou relies on land recovery using parachutes and airbags. It is planned to launch aboard the expendable Long March 10 rocket. Initial crewed missions are currently targeted for the mid-2020s. These differences matter. Crew Dragon was optimized around operational cadence, reuse, and continuous availability. Its design reflects the needs of a permanently occupied orbital station. It requires immediate on-demand crew return capability. Mengzhou reflects a broader strategic ambition. It is larger, heavier, and more oriented toward deep space missions. In these missions, mass margin and mission flexibility outweigh the need for rapid turnaround or high launch frequency. The comparison is instructive. While multiple nations are adopting modern capsule designs, Crew Dragon remains distinctive. Its architecture is tightly integrated with day-to-day station safety operations. It is not simply a transport vehicle. It is embedded in ISS risk management as a standing emergency system. That role includes continuous readiness, frequent flight heritage, and proven contingency return. This is not easily replicated. It helps explain why Crew Dragon has become a reference point not only for NASA's partners but also for emerging human spaceflight programs around the world.